I love to go to another place and do some pricing videos, do viewing videos, because it's been so long. And I'm an extrovert. I like to go out once in a while. The reason why I had my channel, because Obi is an introvert. He's just happy to stay home. I need to meet people. I need to go out and see places. And I really miss that now. I'm just stuck here in Cebu City or in my place doing building work. And an extrovert like me, it becomes depressing. Like, I miss going out. So that's why I had to go out. Like, but I don't go out without just going around. I have to do things at once when I go out. I'm going down to pay for what I owe the backhoe operation on my road project, and also to do some banking, grocery, and then get a little bit of food takeout for my daughter. So I could do this all at once, so I don't have to go down again for a week at least. So here I am. You can see this familiar way that I'm going through every time I go down. You can see the tiny house and the house beside it. They don't continue their construction work because older workers cannot come here in Cebu City because they're from the provinces, and we are in ECQ again, so definitely they can't cross the borders, but they haven't been working since the first ECQ. So someone's picking up some cement. Some of the people here don't understand what's the different kinds of cement. Like, they use the masonry cement as their columns and for their beams. They don't realize this is only good for rendering. I will park here. This is the place where I rent all my equipments. You buy all the spread concrete hollow blocks, but I'll just park on the road. So this is where I pay what I owe for the backhoe, and you can also, that spread concrete hollow blocks, that's their telephone number. And then you can rent equipments and trucks here as well. Ma'am, all his trucks and equipments that you can rent here in Fred's Hollow Block in Pulang Bato, Cebu City. So I'm going back now to do my other business. So this is, they got the mini dump truck, mini excavators, big excavators, but this is all over the place. He owns all this here, even this hollow block area where he started before humbly. So this is owned by him, left and right, and that's the hollow block that I featured. The other side, left, right, on the left, and this is also theirs on the right. See outside, there's the backhoe that went there on my place, and all over here it's owned by Freddy, the owner of the backhoe and equipment trucks and Colberts. So he owns all this land here, and all those houses around are owned by that's their employees. So I paid the backhoe now. It cost me 57,000 all in all. There's 29 hours, 1.5 per hour, and then the 10,000 deployment, taking the backhoe back and forth to my place, and 5,000 up, 10,000 down, and then the mini dump truck. The dump truck was, I got a discount. It's 3.5 instead of 4,000 per day, so it's 3.5. So the total that I put in the digger cost is 57,500, but actually I paid 57 because they just didn't count the 500. They just put it on 3.5, so that's good. So the whole job to the extended road is 57,000 pesos. It cost me all in all. Let's see if they haven't closed their borders here again, because it's ECQ again. Oh, it's okay, I could pass through. But I'll just slow down because That's it now. I got the road done in a matter of 29 hours. 16, 16, 24, 3.5 days. Oh, what is this? I gotta have to turn off so I can maneuver the car properly. Because it's ECQ now, you don't have to queue to come in, because Mandawi City, Talisay City can't come into Cebu City. But the problem is, as you can see, is queuing up for the cashier. I'm here, only a few groceries, but I'm still queuing up because we need to observe the 1 meter distance. But it's a big factor that you don't have to queue for coming in, which is what takes so long before when it was on GCQ. But I have noticed that most of the shop that's been open, like the phone shops have, and even the mall side on this grocery has closed. But in the dining area, I've noticed that they're still open. I'll have a tour in there. Dunkin' Donuts still open, but it's all takeout. So that's not even queuing so much here on the senior citizen, because they're actually not allowed to get out at when it's ECQ. You can see the food court, some of the shops are remain open, but just for takeout. Now I'm going out. That's the only advantage of the ECQ, is you don't have to queue up when you go in, but still a queue, but not too bad when you are on the counter. So I have my stuff delivered. I can't lift the box. Red Ribbon is still open. And you got Frontliner shuttle service over here for Cebu doctors. Labang ka dong. I've done my banking, grocery shopping, so I'm now continuing on to get the pick up the takeout of my daughter. She fancies Burger King. So as you can see, there's a lot of traffic on the road. I know it's ECQ now here only in Cebu City, but the thing is we cannot cross borders, and the malls, instead of they started to open, they're closed again, and the essential shops, which is the food and pharmacies, are the one open. That it seems like it's not really much that's changed, like we're so used to it now. Like aside from the, oh, it's new, the malls are open, but it seems to be that doesn't make a lot of difference, because we have not been crossing borders for like, it's only a few entrances in Mandawi that allow you to go cross over. And it's been so long for us to be under ECQ. It seems like you get used to it now. And so this is what they said about is the new norm. But here you can see there's a lot of traffic on the road, unusual for an ECQ. So ECQ, we cannot go around Sundays. So today is Thursday. That means tomorrow and Saturday, Friday and Saturday, the groceries areas will be full of people. The queues will be so long. So I'm glad I went out today, Thursday, done all my shopping and everything. Then I have to stay put on my just stay in my house for the weekend. So I'm going here in Burger King, where they only do takeouts, because that's what my daughter fancies. Want a break from my cooking. Which I could understand, because I'm not really a good cook, as far as I'm concerned. Not really so much into cooking. So this is Cebu City under ECQ. See, a lot of traffic. People are still going out, unlike during the first ECQ that it's really quiet and the road seems deserted. Only a few are going around, but this time, OMG, look, so many. Not just the delivery vehicles, but private vehicles. But we are still following the coding. You know, today is Thursday, so it's supposed to be Wednesday supposed to be odd numbers. But if you are like a hospital worker, they have a special pass that they don't have to do the coding. It's only the masses, which is me. So I'm here on my small car because this is the odd number, and my old banger is even, so that's the one I take when it's even numbers. So Ayala, that's the Cebu Business Park. I'm going to Iscario Street, so I'm not gonna go up the overpass. I'll go on the side, past the park lane. I'm going to the right. So construction on this side here, a stop as well. But I know they allow construction workers. So that's Park Lane Hotel, that's the Mandarin Hotel, and I'm going to Iscario. Just put the visor on because the heat's coming in. So you know that before, this road here is not, it's only one lane, and then they expanded this Iscario Street for when it was connecting to Ayala, the Cebu Business Park, and also when a lot of these buildings have started to go up, like the Mandarin and the Park Lane, and they're the one who demanded this road to be widened. So the jeepney stop, that's the Golden Peak on your left side, and the PhilHealth office. Golden Peak Hotel, and another hotel that's gonna rise soon on this right side. I'll just turn off for a while. Surprisingly, I'm waiting here for the Starbucks takeout when it used to be such a long queue, and that was under general quarantine, but now it's ECQ. Look how spacious it is. I'm just waiting here on the shade, but now there's somebody there. I have to go forward so they can order their stuff. But this is the things that I miss during this quarantine, is to be able to go around and film prices, film places, and also trying to taste different restaurants. But I don't think, even if it's back to normal, I could do the dining in restaurants. I think when it's gonna be it will be taking so long before it will be back to normal. But even if like this quarantine, I believe, will not end this year. It's just to be still under quarantine. Social distancing should still be observed. Wearing a mask is like part of accessories now. Like you have a phone, you have a mask when you go out. And I think that will be the like the new norm of the people, that you gotta wear a mask, you gotta distance yourself. And also the restaurants and the businesses are the ones suffering because they cannot open with all this quarantine. But even if, I believe when it's back to normal, businesses will not be having the same take as do they have now, because people will be wary. Like restaurant, they don't want to dine in next close to one another anymore. Or perhaps, if I'm wrong, then this good for the businesses, but I believe that will be the new norm now, that people will keep distance from one another. Although you do see the other people don't care. But look what happened now. I was criticized before any of this quarantine happened here in Cebu that I was stocking up and all the stuff I need, because I know it is inevitable to have a lockdown. Oh, I'm the one stupid. There will be no lockdown because we'll be spared by Santo Niño from all this quarantine. But no, this is the reality now. That's what we have to accept, that it's gonna happen. And whether we like it or not, we gotta accept that we need to keep social distancing and we need to wear a mask all the time. So I'm here picking up my Starbucks, and this other one is not going forward, but here.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
That's for the proper. Okay. Yeah.
Ma'am, ako na lang yung hatang, ma'am.
Oh, sige, sure. Okay.
Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alright.
I'll just pick it up.
Okay, ma'am. Salamat.
Thank you. So I've done the Starbucks pick up for my daughter. I'm off now. Just pick up the Indian that she wants. I'll just call them ahead. I'll just get my phone and phone the Indian place. Just park here awkwardly. So this is Bibo area here in Iscario Street. Yeah, I'd like to order a pickup, please.
What are you
Just egg fried rice and only one egg fried rice and one chicken tikka kebab.
Okay, one egg fried rice, one chicken tikka kebab. That's it?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm going there now. I just have to turn this off. I'm gonna cross the street. So going back to what I've been talking about before, I was stopped for the safety reason. Yeah, I don't think this will be ending so quick, like it's not back to normal immediately. I think it will take years, and people will now be wary about social distancing, and wearing a mask is now a new norm. Although some people does not observe social distancing, but like the dining in the restaurants, I think that will change, because before the ECQ was declared again in Cebu City, they do have open some of the restaurants, but the distance of the diners are quite observed. Although, like I said, like in the jeepneys, it was mandatory to have the distance, that some really break it just to get more passengers. But now this was like especially in the squatters area, there's a lot of cases that has been reported, and which is the cause of why we are still in ECQ. I think the people will now start to learn that they need to keep the hygiene, they need to keep the distance, and they need to keep the staying home. I think also the coding of the vehicles will be observed further than this one. I think it's here to stay because it does help the traffic. And if you are a hospital worker, essential worker, that's when you can be exempted, but you will have to be registered. Otherwise, if a doctor only have one vehicle, he can go and work the next day. And it does work with most of the masses. Will have to follow the coding of the cars, though they are following this in Manila, but here in Cebu seems to be working. And the curfew, like, you don't see teenagers like just stand by on the streets. It should be strictly implemented then, because like now the curfew ECQ is 7 o'clock, so the grocery store close at 6. They have an hour to go home. So if you're living further, you can go off earlier. So they make accommodations for those kinds of things about their workers, that they can go home earlier if they are further from the establishment, and so they still have to catch the jeepneys. But it does work. But it's the only thing is the businesses, especially the social businesses like the restaurants, cinemas, they all gonna be losing on this pandemic that's happening, because people now would rather stay home and download a movie than watch it in the cinemas. So the cinemas, the amusement parks, the restaurants, I think, are the one to suffer. The factories that they have to, I think it's just a chain reaction, because the factories as well, there will be no customers buying so much stuff because a lot of the businesses will be closed. I love to go to another place and do some pricing videos, do viewing videos, because it's been so long. And I'm an extrovert. I like to go out once in a while. The reason why I had my channel, because Obi is an introvert. He's just happy to stay home. I need to meet people. I need to go out and see places. And I really miss that now. I'm just stuck here in Cebu City or in my place doing building work. And an extrovert like me, it becomes depressing. Like, I miss going out. So that's why I had to go out. Like, but I don't go out without just going around. I have to do things at once when I go out. So it's been hard because you can't shop to the shops that you want. You'll be limited to the availability of what's in the local groceries. Like, you want to go to SNR. At least last time I bought 2 sacks of dog food when I went there. I had to go by a different way to go in Mandaue City, because there in AS Fortuna they won't let you in if you're from Cebu City. I don't know what's wrong with them, but I went to via the North Reclamation Road to go to SNR. So I still have a lot of my toilet papers. That still be another 3 months supply, but it's the dog food that I have to stock up. I hope this will be back to GCQ, then I don't have to like limit the dogs. They can eat when they want, but now I am now rationing them. So I'm here now on my Indian place, favorite Indian takeaway, then pick up my daughter's Indian. I just stopped to get some petrol. Now I'm going back to my way back home. So it's not so traffic, but it's still a lot of traffic than the usual ECQ, because it used to be so deserted at this time, and only when the workers come home. But now it's only just 2 o'clock and still a lot of people on the road, so it's not so much about the ECQ now. People just go out. I think they have to do all their shoppings, or some of them maybe just plainly going out, just bored in their house for so long. Unfortunately, they were able to go around the malls before under the GCQ. Now it's back to ECQ. Look at the queue of the grocery in the Grand Mall. You can see the people queuing. I'm glad in the Country Mall it is not only you have to queue on the, that's the one I've showed you, that you have to queue on the counters, but going in, straight, not before, like, yeah, you wait until the back of the building. And so this is what we are right now, ECQ until the 30th of June, Cebu City. So we have a neighbor that even died, and the funeral parade is not allowed anymore, even if you have to go by a car, but you need to observe social distancing. So most of the neighbors would not bother to go in the funeral, to the funeral, because they're scared, because there's a lot of military concentrating on checking on Cebu City now for strict implementation of the quarantine, because we're the only one that's ECQ. So they were scared to go. So I gotta turn left because this is my way up to the hill. So you can see the military presence everywhere. They stop you, even in cars will stop there, because they're now concentrating here. So but this small car is tinted, so it's not so obvious to be seen, because I got my mask down to talk to the camera. I've seen construction work here is continuing, but the restaurant that used to do in the gym, used to do takeout, is not there. Wow, undertaking. Good, he didn't smack on me. I'll just check on the wood glue for Old B here. Still a parking space so I could get in. So I'll check on the wood glue. I'm glad I could go to this side now, not going through Pitos, because like I said before, going to this shortcut, going to the hill, it saves me about 6 kilometers than going to Pitos. So this is what I do when it was just normal before, without all this quarantine. I pass this way going to the hill. Saves a lot of traffic, although these are narrow roads, but some parts are not even cemented, but it's better than going through the traffic of Pitos. You still got a market emerging there that you can buy your vegetable, fish and meat for the people here. And this way you can also go to Montessori International School. This is this way, and a few small subdivisions are emerging this way as well. So you can see, I have noticed that in Pitos there's a lot of 10-wheeler trucks going through, and it saves me a lot of time going through this way. This is the one I shown you. Well, they barred the entrance like it was in a Walking Dead scene. Because the ECQ before, I was concerned that they will be doing the same, that barred the entrance with corrugated sheets like it was in Walking Dead. But I've noticed that they haven't, so I was able to go through this morning, so hopefully they have not changed their mind. So I've noticed here there are establishments around here now. There's Tigbao Glass. I will have ask how much is the pricing of their windows. This one is so quick, don't want to be overtaken and then slow down. So this is, you can see the way that I'm going through, but you gotta go through a village where you have to be very careful of the traffic because there's so many kids, children crossing, and people protruding their houses. I mean, trying to accommodate the road as part of their house. So that's the Lulier estate here, another Lulier estate, and this is the village that I'm talking about. So I go through this, but I come out, see what I mean? There got cars parked. You can go drive fast here because dogs, cars, and children. And this is how wide is the road. So, and then there's some bumps, holes. See what I mean? There in the front. So position the car that is between the both tires, in between. So this is like a small village, but I usually pass here during the school run of my daughter before because it saves me time than going through Pitos. So you can see on the car there, so I have to stop on this side so you can go through easy. And this is the problem with this village here. Because people like to have vehicles, but they have no parking space, so they park their cars on the road. Now, what are you gonna do? But once you pass this village, it will be better roads. I mean, better, no more like that. So you can see this is now, they got a new hump here. So this is where they lock it up before, and now you go through better than that village. And then you're gonna pass by a subdivision, Metropolis extension. Metropolis 2 is over here. So this is the barangay road, so they cannot lock it in. So that's the subdivision area now. This is the subdivision road, actually the barangay road, which is subdivision built for the people. So we can still just go through. So that's the subdivision houses. Some, I think 120 square meter minimum. And there, so left and right you can see gates. That's Metropolis 1, and then on the left Metropolis 2. But I'm still going forward. That house in the end, that's my friend's house, Jane. She just built a lot 3 block 6. There's a new house being built on her side. So this is what I mean. Half of it is rough road, but I'll just be careful going through because it's not cemented. But it's better than going to Pitos, going through all the traffic, the crossing people, the markets. I could see there's another vehicle behind me. Because the only thing that's bad here when it's raining, because it's really slippery. But still, I'll rather go here, slow down, than going through the traffic with us, and it's saving me 6 kilometers, like I said, going through here. But it's not that bad, although yeah, you can see the up and down movements of the car, like waving. So that's the gate for Greenwood Subdivision. It's the same company, Santa Lucia, but we're on the back road. When I come out here, it will be it's already in Pulang Batu, so it's easier to go up the hill. So you see there's a big bougainvillea plant that you can see on the right side. Now it's concrete road, because that's the subdivision I featured when I was talking about subdivisions, and that's Greenwood's extension. And this is the barangay road that they created because they closed the road for their subdivision, so they have to make a provision for the people to go through, since they cannot close everything out. So you can see I'm now on Pulang Batu, and now you can see the hills. You cannot see my house here yet because it's all covered with plants, trees there. So this is now my road going up. That's the Greenwoods 2 subdivision. That's their end wall. And on the right side here, you can see the container hotel that I featured once. I got a video about this, a container hotel, and how much is the rate. And all our neighbors that are making hollow blocks. That's why I'm getting my hollow blocks at cost, and sand and gravel at cost, because they're the makers over here. Even Colbert's, the one I featured, any sizes, it's Freddy's is the biggest one that makes hollow blocks, and Colbert's here. But although, like I said, I buy it on the small makers because they can give you a better price. And there's the quarry where the crusher machine is there, crushing sand, crush gravel on different sizes, G1, G2, G3. Their operation is halted because of the ECQ, and everything else, like Freddy was even so happy that GCQ, because their customers starts coming in. But now when it was declared ECQ, like, that means they cannot cross borders. So this one is a government project, so they're allowed to keep on crossing the quarry. So we are now on Pulang Batu, because I'm going up to the hill now. So like in the city, not much has changed here, except that people don't go out so much at ECQ because there's a curfew police. The police that works around here, they're from different barangays, not barangay police, different station of the city, because it's actual police that roves around to about 7 o'clock for people to go back to their houses. Like last night, it was the Cebu City Police that was here, roving around up the hill, telling the people to go home. It's curfew, and if you're arguing with them, they'll take you in the panel. So you can stay a night in the can. So this is our Japanese bridge. Then that's the hills. I'm gonna go drive on, and I'll just turn off for safety reason.